This is the Power Station Energy 100 with your hostess Elsabe on EconoChat. Let's talk business with Mr. Daniel Steinman. A warm welcome to our listeners, and of course a special welcome to Mr. Daniel Steinman. Today we will be talking about something very interesting, and that has been the talk of the town, as they would say. We are talking about Financial Intelligence Amendment Bill. But Mr. Daniel Steinman, before we get into that, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Elsabe. It's very nice to be here, but it's very cold.
It is very cold, and especially in Namibia, like we cannot handle this type of cold.
If it goes below 20, I suffer.
Well, I believe that we will push through, and just as we will be pushing through with the Financial Intelligence Amendment Bill. But first, give us like a simple explanation into what is the Financial Intelligence Bill all about. Why do we have that?
You're asking for something that doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
The bill is definitely not simple.
Not simple.
The bill is very comprehensive. Mm-hmm. It's a 78-page document, the amendment bill itself.
Yeah.
And this is not including the existing act, the Financial Intelligence Act of 2012. Mm-hmm. And then accompanying the 78-page document is a 24-page explanatory memorandum, which is also very technical, very involved, very complicated. But I'm sure our audience, our listeners, they're not that interested in how technical it is.
Yeah.
They would want to know, why is it there? Why suddenly, why in the last couple of months, or actually in the last month, this big hoo-ha? Why is Financial Intelligence Amendment Bill on everybody's lips?
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going to explain today, the issues, what it's all about, and where does it come from. So let's look at the Financial Intelligence Center. It is a center operating in the Bank of Namibia, so it's a division of the Bank of Namibia, or a unit, and it functions according to the Financial Intelligence Act of 2012, and its focus is primarily on funding the funds that come into Namibia or that leave Namibia. So if you have to encapsulate what they've been doing for the last 10 years, it's basically an advanced level of exchange control. Now you can ask yourself immediately, but if exchange control is a normal function of the central bank, of the Bank of Namibia, then why do you need another unit to look at exchange control? Because the moment that you're looking at transactions of money flowing into Namibia or money flowing out of Namibia, it's nothing other than exchange control. Because I can guarantee you that Namibia dollars don't flow into the London market. But British pound, they do flow into the Namibian market, and US dollars and euros, they all flow this way, but the Namibia dollar isn't going anywhere. It's not even going to Pretoria, to the Reserve Bank. As a matter of fact, whatever they redeem of our money there, they charge us a levy to count it and send it back.
Sure.
This is just by the by. This has got nothing to do with financial intelligence.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make the point that other than exchange control, there wasn't much for the Financial Intelligence Center to do. Now, where does all of this come from? This comes from what they call the Financial Action Task Force, FATF. Now that's also a word or a name that I'm sure you've heard 1,000 times in the last month.
Yeah.
Suddenly, everybody is talking about Financial Action Task Force, with unfortunately very, very few people actually knowing what it is, or realizing what the implications are. This is a body, an international body. It was formed in 1989, so 1 year before we became independent. And it was formed by the G7 countries, and the focus in the beginning was drug trafficking. So it was mostly relevant for the American situation, but also to a lesser extent the drug trade out of Afghanistan and Iran, or that part of the Middle East, where they're very fond of, where it's actually a respectable job to grow poppies, to make opium, to send it to a decadent Europe where the kids just love it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this tongue in cheek, a bit of a joking, but the drug trade as such is no joke. Big, massive, multi-billion trade. The harm that it does is not an economic issue. It certainly is an ethical or a moral issue, but everybody knows what harm it does. So I think the perception is universal that you need to combat the drug trade in some way.
Yeah.
And the second point that is also widely acknowledged is that the drug trade generates billions, thousands of billions, trillions of dollars, And this money is all dirty money. And this money needs to be washed to get it clean. And that it's laundered. So, and that is where we talk about money laundering. So you've got two legs in the beginning of the Financial Action Task Force. The one was direct opposition or combating of drug trafficking as it happened on the ground. And the second one was to prevent the proceeds, the money from drug trafficking, to enter the legal financial system across the world anywhere.
Okay. Now, on that note, Mr. Daniel Steinman, of course, when we come back, you will give us more into what the Financial Action Task Force is doing right now. So let's go for the short break, and once we come back, we will continue this talk.